Okay, so I hope everyone are clear with the first method which we did in the last class, that was a net assets method. Now this method is the second type of method under the valuation of shares, which we call it as yield method. Okay, just a general introduction before I start with the practical problem. This method is basically called as a going concern method. Okay, I will just explain you directly from the notes so that you can copy this. Under this method, it is assumed that the enterprise is a going concern. Enterprise means company. Company is said to be a going concern. Going concern means it will be in operation for the coming years. It will not close down the business immediately. It will continue for many more years. That is the meaning of going concern. So the investors are interested in the income. Income is nothing but the yield or the dividend. That is why this method is called as yield method. Investors are basically interested in the income of a company. That is why we call this method as an yield method. And so dividend is also included. Hence, value of share is based on the amount of profit available to equity shareholders. And this method is also called as market value method or earning capacity method. Okay, so yield method is also called as market value method or earning capacity method, and this method is further classified into first one, valuation based on rate of return. I have already explained you the methods, right? First one is valuation based on rate of return, then you have valuation based on productivity factor, and then you have valuation based on price earning ratio. So these are the three methods which comes under yield. First, we'll do the valuation based on rate of return. What are they telling you? Under this method, the value per equity share depends on the rate of return that is generated. What is rate of return? Rate of return is the return which the shareholder earns on his investment, and is further classified as valuation based on rate of dividend, valuation based on rate of earnings. Okay, so I will just repeat this. Yield method, basically you are concerned about the income for the equity shareholders. So you are going to find out the profit available for the equity shareholders. There is no concept of assets. You are finding out the profit. It's also called as market value or earning capacity. Under that you have three methods. The first method is valuation based on rate of return. Under this you have two methods, that is rate of dividend and rate of earnings. Rate of return means whatever is the return that the shareholder earns from his investment, and is further classified as rate of dividend and rate of earnings. So in this I will tell you how you have to calculate your valuation based on rate of dividend and rate of earnings. So with this brief introduction, I will start with the problem. Okay, so for the theory, what you have to write is just now whatever I showed you, you have to write. That is, you have to write yield method meaning, and then give the first one, which is valuation based on rate of return, give the explanation. After this, we'll start with the problem directly. So write the theory and then we start with the problem. So valuation based, so look into the problem here. Or before that, I will tell the formula. See, this is the formula that you have to remember. Whenever they ask you valuation based on rate of return, the value of share is paid up value per share into expected rate of dividend divided by normal rate of dividend. Paid up value per share, normal rate of dividend, both will be given in the problem. What you should find out is the expected rate of dividend. So expected rate of dividend is given by this formula. That is profit available to equity shareholders by paid up equity share capital into 100. Again here, paid up equity share capital will be there in the question. You should find out what is the profit available. So we'll try to understand this method with the help of a problem. The following are the particulars relating to Basu Company Limited. The paid up share capital of the company consists of 1015% preference shares of 100 each and 30,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. The average annual profit after provision for income tax amounted to 1,25,000 and it is considered necessary to transfer 20,000 to general reserve before declaring any dividend to the shareholders. So before I consider 1,25,000, I should minus 20,000 for general reserve. That is the meaning of the sentence. The normal return expected by the investors in the equity shares from the same type of business carried on by the company is 10%. Your normal return is nothing but your normal rate of dividend is 10%. Calculate the value of equity share on the basis of dividend yield. Okay, that is on the basis of rate of dividend method they are asking you to do the problem. So let us see how you have to do the problem. So as I always tell you, start by writing the formula. So I am writing the second method, which is called yield. Under this we are doing valuation based on rate of return. Under rate of return we are doing valuation based on rate of dividend. Okay, so first problem. Before I start the problem, I should write the formula. So under the rate of dividend, your rate of dividend, value of the share is given by the formula paid up value per share into expected rate of dividend, the whole divided by normal rate of dividend. Okay, paid up and normal rate is given in the question. How do you calculate your expected? Expected rate of dividend is equal to profit available to equity shareholders divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. So first write the formula. So now we are supposed to calculate the expected rate, for which I should find out the profit available to the equity shareholders. Okay. So from the question they have already given you average annual profit. Annual means for the year. So average annual profit before provision, after provision for income tax is 1,25,000. And they've clearly told you you have to transfer 20,000 for general reserve. So I'm writing transfer to general reserve 20,000, which I should minus because I am taking from the profit. So I am going to minus this 20,000. So when you minus 1,25,000 from 20,000, you get 1,05,000. Then what are they telling you? With this 1,05,000, you have to find out how much is your yield. But before that, whenever you have your preference share capital given, remember you have to pay your preference dividend. Whether they mention or not, you should always write your preference dividend. Why? Because we are finding the profit available for the equity shareholders. So preference dividend should be minused. Then only we will be able to find out what is the profit for the equity shareholders. So whether they mention or not, you please keep in mind that preference dividend should always be minused whenever you are doing your value of share. So preference share capital, they have told it is 1,015% preference shares of rupees 100 each. So 1,000 shares at rupees 100 each will give you 1 lakh. 1 lakh 15% is 15,000. Okay. So now when you have minused again this you get 90,000. This 90,000 will be called as my profit available to equity shareholders. Okay, now everything remains the same. You should just substitute in the formula. Okay, I will substitute here. Expected rate of dividend is equal to profit available, which was 90,000, divided by paid up equity share capital. Paid up equity share capital means the total equity share capital available in the company. That is 30,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. They are telling you it is capital. So it is 3 lakh. Okay, that is 30,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each is 3 lakh. So 90,000 divided by 3 lakh into 100. You get 30%. This is my expected rate of dividend. Now calculate your value of share. Paid up value per share. Paid up value per share means what is the value of one share. Please remember, we are doing only equity. Do not take preference. We should always look into your equity only. 30,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. So what is the paid up value for one share? Paid up value of one share is 10 rupees. So 10 into the expected rate which we have found out is 30 divided by the normal rate which is already given in the question is 10. So you get rupees 30 per share. Okay, do not consider percentage, just write 10 into 30 divided by 10 because everything is of percentage here. So you get rupees 30 per share. This is how you find out the value of equity share under your yield method, especially under your valuation based on rate of dividend. Okay, so we'll solve another problem so that you will be able to understand in detail. Okay, so this method, whichever we did, it was on valuation based on rate of dividend. The second method is valuation based on rate of earnings. It is the same formula with slight changes. Okay, so I'm just writing B, valuation based on rate of earnings. Okay, rate of earnings is also very much similar to rate of dividend only. There is no much difference here. See, according to this method, valuation is based on the rate of earnings, and this method is particularly suitable for valuing large block of shares, as these shareholders are interested in earnings of the company but not in the amount of dividend distributed by the company. Under this method, the value of share is the same formula, paid up value per share into expected rate of earnings. Instead of expected rate of dividend, they have given you expected rate of earnings divided by normal rate of earnings. Instead of normal rate of dividend, they have given you normal rate of earnings. So these two will be given in the question. You should find out your expected rate of earnings, which is the same formula. Profit available to the equity shareholders divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. Okay, it is the same formula. Wherever you had written dividend, that is replaced with the word earnings. That's all is the difference. So I will directly start with the problem. Okay. Following is the information available in respect of Aditi Company Limited. 1,500 10% preference shares of 100 each, 1,50,000. 37,500 equity shares of 10 each, but only 8 paid up, 3 lakh. Expected profit for the year before tax 1,87,500. Rate of IT is 40%. You are supposed to transfer to general reserve 20% of profit. Normal rate of earnings is 16%. Calculate the value of an equity share. If you read this question properly, they are not telling you which method is the question. whether it is your net asset method or whether it is your yield method. But looking into the question, you should identify which method it belongs to. See here, they have told you normal rate of earnings. So I know it is a problem of valuation based on rate of earnings. So only with the words that is given in the question, you should be able to find out which method you are supposed to do the formula. Which method you're supposed to do the problem. Okay, so let us start now. Directly they have given you, this is first problem under this method, expected profit before tax. Expected profit before tax is 1,87,500. Okay, then see, this is before tax, so after this definitely I should minus my tax, which is given at the rate of 40%. So 1,87,500, 40%, you will get 75,000. So when I minus this, you get 1,12,500. This will be called as my profit after tax. Then they told you transfer to general reserve. So transfer to general reserve, which is 20% of the profit. So 1,12,500 into 20% will give me 22,500. Okay, so now when you minus this, you get 90,000. But please remember, towards the end you should pay preference dividend. Okay, so that is on 1,50,000 I am supposed to pay a dividend of 10%, which is 15,000. So now the profit available is only 75,000. This is called as my profit available to equity shareholders. Okay, the same problem, since you have before tax, first I have minus the tax, then minus the general reserve transfer, then don't forget to minus the preference dividend. When you see preference share in the problem, you have to minus the preference dividend for valuing the shares. Now let us write the formula for valuation based on rate of earnings, and then we'll substitute the figures. So it is given by the formula, valuation of share is equal to paid up value per share into expected rate of earnings, the whole divided by normal rate of earnings. These two is available. So your expected rate of earnings is given by the formula, profit available to equity shareholders divided by paid up value of equity share capital into 100. So profit available, which we just found out, was 75,000 divided by paid up value of share capital is, see, 37,500 equity shares of 10 each, 8 paid, which is 3 lakh. So 3 lakh into 100. So 75,000 by 3 lakh into 100, you get 25%. So therefore, value of share is equal to, paid up value is only 8. Okay, please keep in mind it is not 10, it is only 8. 8 into expected rate is 25 divided by normal rate is 16, which is given in the question. So you get rupees 12.50 per share. Okay, I hope the problem is clear, because we are not doing anything much. We are just writing the formula and substituting the values. Rate of dividend, rate of earnings, it is the same formula only. The only difference is in place of dividend you are writing as rate of earnings. That is the only difference. So with this your first method is completed. So under valuation based on rate of return, we have completed rate of dividend and we have completed rate of earnings. The second main method, okay, the second main method under your yield method is called your valuation based on price earning ratio. Okay, this is again very simple. I will tell you how the formula is written because you don't have to know much of the theory part of it. It is only the practical that they ask. So when I talk about your price earning ratio, again here the investors are more interested in the price earning of a business rather than dividend, rather than their other part of the earnings. They are more interested in the how well the earnings have been made by the company. So if I write the formula, you will be able to understand. So valuation based on price earning ratio is, again here it has two formulas. So basically what we are finding out here is the EPS of a company. You all know what is EPS because you have studied that in your, you're studying that in your FM. EPS is your earnings per share. Earnings per share is always given by the formula profit available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. And therefore your price earning ratio is given by the formula market value of share divided by earnings per share. That is why I have written the formula here. Okay, so actual formula for your price earning ratio is market value divided by EPS. Market value will be given in the question. You should find out the EPS. How do you find out EPS? Profit available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. And I hope you remember the format of EPS. First we write PBIT, that is profit before interest and tax. Then we minus the interest. Then we write PBT. Then we minus the tax. Then we write profit after tax. So this format only you have to follow. Okay, I will just write the format here for your understanding. Your format for your EPS calculation, you always start from your profit before interest and tax. According to this, first you have to minus the interest. When you minus the interest, you get profit before tax. Then you have to minus the tax. When you minus the tax, you get profit after tax. Then you should minus your preference dividend. Whatever you get, that is your profit available to equity shareholders. Okay, this format you might have studied or you are yet to study in financial management. Profit before interest tax, first minus the interest, you will get profit before tax. Then minus the tax, you will get profit after tax. Then minus preference dividend, you get profit available to equity shareholders. So let us solve a problem here. I'll read out the question. Following is the capital structure of Amok Company Limited. 12,500 equity shares of 10 each, 1,25,000. 20,000 10% preference shares of 10 each, which is 2 lakh. Under reserves and surplus, you have 1 lakh. Other liabilities, you have 10% debentures, 1,12,500, and then 12% term loan, which is 62,500. So for these two, you have to provide the interest for debentures and for loan. The average annual profit before payment of income tax and interest on debenture and term loan is 93,750. The rate of income tax is 30%. The applicable price earning ratio is 9. Now, see, they have clearly told you the profit which is there is before the payment of income tax and interest on debenture and term loan. So it is basically PBIT that is given in the problem. So first